each of the I am sayings of Jesus in the Gospel of John, Jesus defines who he is and who he isn't. Sometimes those words are very simple, one-syllable words like light or bread, or for today, door. You find that one in the Gospel of John, chapter 10. Jesus said, I am the door. Some translations will have it to say, I am the gate. I prefer, I am the door, because I think we better understand that word, I am the door. As I think about those I am statements of Jesus in the Gospel of John, while they are in many ways very simple, we spend a lifetime pondering what they mean for our life. So let's take a minute from the Gospel of John. It's in the first few chapters in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, if you want to read it there. But in that chapter, Jesus says, I am the door. Doors play a major role in the life that you and I live, if you think about it. There's hardly an activity in which doors do not have a part of who we are. It's the front door we enter, or the side door we enter when we get home. Maybe it's the refrigerator door. And maybe you remember the little question that went around some years ago. If God had a refrigerator, would your picture be on that door? Well, if you are a child of God, then yes, that's true. But you begin to see doors are part of us, from the car door to the closet door, from the open door to the closed door. Doors play basically two roles for us. They protect us, but they also bring possibilities. When they're closed, they protect. When they're open, they create possibilities. When Jesus said, I am the door, he was talking about being both a protector and a possibility bringer. A crucial question for all of us is, what door of my life do I need for Jesus to either open or shut tight for me? It's a highly individual matter, even at different stages of our lives. What door do we need the special attention of Jesus right now to open or to close? It may not be the same door a year from now and at different chapters in our lives, but what is it today? Jesus said, I am the door. Now, what would Jesus mean by that? We know what it is to close our door to our bedroom or close our refrigerator door to keep all the coolness inside. But what does Jesus mean when he talks about the door? Well, part of what we have to do is go back and listen. And Jesus says, I am the door. And so let's pick up on that word, I am the door. In that day, and in that time, when shepherds went from village to village and towns and cities, out on hillsides, they would have their flock of sheep, and it would begin to be dusk. And through the years, they would put together folds, sheep folds, they were called. They were little corrals, if you will. We would say nothing more than just small walls about waist high, usually made out of rocks from the hillside. And inside of those, the shepherds would leave their sheep. The gate, well, it really wasn't a gate. It was just a space. The shepherd becomes the gate. And when all of the sheep are inside that sheepfold, all the shepherd has to do is sit in that space. And the sheep are protected. There is no gate. It's a beautiful imagery that Jesus gives us, and when we begin to think about it from the perspective of the shepherd, we begin to understand. Jesus is calling that illustration to our mind when he uses this imagery, I am the door. Jesus says, I will be your door. I will be that which keeps you safe inside the sheepfold. I will be that which protects you from harm. I will be that keeps you in that safe place. There's a story of a man who had been through a life-shattering experience. He wrote, faith, as I begin to understand it more, is not about my circumstances. It's about a person. To have faith in better circumstances, even in God creating better circumstances, is not true faith. I want to be the kind of person that can watch my dream go down and still cling to the King of my life, Jesus the Lord. Well, I think the person is right. Faith is about personal relationship. When Jesus says, I am the door, he is not removing that personal relationship. It is indeed very personal. As we read through that chapter and Jesus talks about being the door for the sheep, it conveys the image of those who are known by Jesus, those whom Jesus knows by name and is able to call by name. But there's another aspect of that, and that is this, that when Jesus calls us by name, we know his voice and we respond. Jesus says, I am the door. If we look at it in a couple of ways, we can maybe begin to see some more of the nuance that is in this particular phrase, I am the door. Because on the one hand, Jesus is the door that protects us. Jesus is also the door that opens us to possibility. I love the 23rd Psalm, and I go back to it often in my life. And I like that passage in the 23rd Psalm where David records, he makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the quiet waters. If the only image we have of Jesus being the door is that of Jesus sitting in that space of the sheepfold to keep the sheep in and keep them safe, we miss something else, and that is this. When Jesus is the door is opened so that we can be led to the still waters and the green pastures where we are nourished both physically and spiritually. And I think that's a unique way to think about Jesus on this particular day. Jesus said, I am the door. And I wonder this day if you and I can let Jesus simply be that, the door for us, who protects us, but who also takes us to the places that will bring nourishment, hope, encouragement, and new life. Jesus said, I am the door. I look forward to being with you in worship this Sunday, and I invite you to come as we worship together at the church called Emmanuel. May God bless you this day.